3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point, you realized you were married into crazy.
And that's what our podcast is all about. We offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as we unpack this crazy thing called marriage.
So sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to episode 175 of the Married Into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Levy. I'm Levy.
I'm Snooks.
And you might hear it in my voice where I sound just a little sick. Why are you laughing?
Because you sound better. Well, I mean, from perspectives, of course, he sounds a lot better than what he sounded like 5 days ago, even yesterday. So, yeah, Lovey was really, really ill. I almost made him sleep in the garage because I didn't want to catch it.
She ain't lying. She is not lying. I mean, because
I would make you sleep in the garage. It's too cold.
It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. And I will say this. We're apologizing. This is the first time in 175 plus episodes that there's a late release for the podcast. It was a confluence of different things. One was, of course, me being sick, and I was in the ER yesterday, all the way up to our internet went out.
Good Lord. That was crazy.
We talk about a crazy start to the new year, and I think that's actually what the podcast is going to be called. We were thinking about that as a title anyway, and then everything went to hell in a handbasket yesterday, because yesterday we tried taping, and I was hydrated, had all my fluids, had my mask on. Mask is not on today because we finally got the COVID negative test. Had a multitude of negatives at home testing, but my doctor wanted a PCR test.
Mm-hmm. I thought he had pneumonia just because, I mean, throughout the years, Levy has had pneumonia numerous times. So the way that he was in my non-medical educated self eyes, he was presenting like he had pneumonia. So I was like, I think you have pneumonia. So he went to the doctor, got an x-ray of his chest, and he's like, no, I don't have pneumonia. I was like, oh God. And it's so funny because I was talking to Derek, big brother Derek, not little brother Derek. He was like, isn't that crazy when you're praying for it to be pneumonia because you don't want him to have COVID? I was like, exactly.
For real.
Exactly. So, yeah, just shout out to the doctors for making sure that my Lovey was still, doing what he was supposed to do, getting fluids in, getting the rest that was required. I just think that you've just been so run down just because everything that's been going on. You figure all the things, all the responsibilities, all the different hats you're juggling, and at some point you have to start taking care of yourself. It's like self-care has to be a part of everything that it is that we do. And when that doesn't happen, it's almost like your body's like, okay, so you're not going to take care of you on purpose? Okay, I'm just going to shut us down and we're just going to rest.
It's like,
and you're going to be in pain.
Circuit breaker tripped.
Yeah.
You're done.
You're absolutely done.
It was a mess. It was a mess. But hey, before I forget, I want to ask everybody to do us a huge favor. Go to Apple Podcasts if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, or if you're on Spotify, and give those 5 stars and give that a high rating. Again, wherever you're listening, if you have the ability, if it is specifically Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give the 5 stars, and if you can, go ahead and leave a review. But then also, feel free to join our Iron Tribe, the marriage community, on Facebook, because we are going to have another what's it called, marriage vision board activity. We're going to be getting together. I know my mind isn't quite working right. I still got medicine head.
Is it a little medicine head?
I'm still pumped up with stuff, folks. And they didn't give me the good drugs. They just gave me like we want to get the phlegm out of you. I'm like, that's no fun.
Good Lord. It's fun as long as you get it out, right?
Yeah.
It's not fun hearing it, but.
Yeah, but then I'm coughing and stuff, and then I give myself a headache from the coughing and the tension. It was a mess. Anyway. But yeah, go to that has absolutely nothing to do with the
vision board.
The vision board activity, unless of course you're going to put some pictures of you being healthy.
Well, that's a vision for couples too.
It is.
Think about it, you know.
It is. And it's one of those things where we're going to do this because, people have been asking for it yet again. We're in this new year. And we really want to make sure everyone's focused on having a vision for their marriage. Mm-hmm. Part of ours is
stay healthy.
Stay healthy. That is a huge part of ours. We got to redo ours now because we have places we want to go. Now we want to go and stay healthy as we go.
Yeah, our vision board. I'm gonna have the doctor's office. I'm gonna have the medical building up on there.
Don't put that on the board. That means that's someplace I gotta go.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest about it too. With COVID on the rise and everything.
Oh, we ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm just thankful that you were actually even able to get in. You know, a lot of states and a lot of cities are dealing with not being able to really see their doctors because of the spike that's going on again. You know, back to the telemedicine over the phone. And even though you started out that way, you were still able to actually go in and be seen. So
for those of you, so again, the title of the podcast is A Crazy Start to the New Year.
Hold on. Let me just, right before we go there, I just want to just give a shout out, not even just a shout out, but just to say thank you to all of our listeners for all the love that you've given to us, more particularly Lovey for the condolences for my father-in-law, Lovey's dad, passing away on December 27th. We just had an outpouring of love, and we are just so thankful and so grateful for all of you that have reached out, emails and just, you know, sending
flowers.
Yeah, well wishes and stuff like that. It was really beautiful to see that the community just really came together and just supported us and just showed love, and we're real thankful for that.
Yeah, you know, and it's in those moments where it's just nice to feel loved. Mm-hmm. And I know there was so many different individuals, but there's one couple in particular I just have to call out, and that's Snapper Red and Sibo. Snappa and Sibo have an amazing YouTube community. They got over like 60,000 followers. They do these reaction videos, and we've been friends for quite some time. And she's also part of leadership within Breathe University, like I am. And she just took it upon herself to just really, you know, rally the community and send us flowers and just checking in on us. And that's love. And I just want to say, you know, it's appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
We love you, Brian and Joy. And we're very thankful for you. And again, for all those other individuals that listen, we truly are. I'm super appreciative. And keep the prayers coming. I'm still in the mend. Mm-hmm. And we have my father's services this weekend.
And there's another couple too, Scott and Jan Kyles.
Yes.
Man, they just been showing up, and it's just like crazy, just sitting, making food and bringing food over, and just, hey, how's everything going? What do you need? And just making sure that we feel their presence, just that they're here always. And so that's just a big shout out to them. And just because we're calling out certain names, that does not disqualify any of the appreciation that we feel for anyone, you know. So
no, it's
just
just
want to throw
top of
that
mind.
out there. Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't have said any names just because I don't want anybody to feel like they're excluded. You're not.
Anyway, no.
Because the list is long.
It's a very long list, yeah.
And this just goes back to actually remind everybody that you need to build an iron tribe. Mm-hmm. And that iron tribe, man, Proverbs 27:17, my mind is like really foggy right now.
Iron sharpens iron.
As iron sharpens iron. You know, it says that, you know, so you start, I can't even think of it now.
Iron sharpens iron. Our thing is, as iron sharpens iron, we as couples should sharpen each other. So please forgive Lovey. He's still on medication. It's okay. It's all right. Everyone's not perfect all the time. So
no, but it's one of those things where you need to sharpen each other. Surround yourselves with people that are going to lift you up in your moments of darkness. Mm-hmm. and also be there to celebrate those moments of happiness and whether you're going through trials, tribulations, or triumphs. Somebody should be there with you, and you should have people around you that are there for you. Not the people that are like, well, why, I don't know, everybody's excited about them. I did XYZ too. It's like, no, people that are genuinely happy for you, and the people that are going to call you out on your BS as well. Because we all have it. We all have our moments. And you need people that are going to have that accountability that's going to be there with you. And we're just thankful that we have a strong Iron Tribe. And we invite you to join our Iron Tribe on Facebook so you can get to know some of these people that we've surrounded ourselves with and that you can be a part of as well. Some we know, some we don't. And there's some great individuals there. But build your own as well. Yeah. With this crazy start to the new year, it all began. What?
Nothing. I was laughing. Because I know where you're going, so go ahead.
No, I said with this crazy start of the new year, it all began with my father's passing on the 27th. And it actually started before then. There was just I had this cough that had been with me for a long time, and we couldn't quite figure out what was going on. I thought it was allergies. I think it had something to do with one of the teas that I was drinking, but we don't know. And then we had a grandchild come over, and she apparently had the flu.
New Year's Eve. We kept them New Year's Eve. All of them New Year's Eve. And the little Eliana, she just thought she'd spread all her love and her germs throughout the house. So apparently Papa and Isaiah were the ones that were affected. I don't know, just like, maybe you all are the weaker sex because only the guys got sick.
Wow. Maybe it's because we're the only ones that were loving on Eliana that she needed to in her moment of weakness.
Whatever.
Eli was sick, and so what does she want to do? Who was she up under?
Oh my God.
Papa.
Oh, Papa. Papa. I was like, girl, go find him. Please go.
That's right. She would just sit there with me on the couch and up underneath me. And then what's so funny is who else was sitting up underneath me?
Isaiah at times.
Yeah.
At times. But let me just say this so funny. Our daughters love their nieces and their nephew. But when Els left, the blanket that she was like, Kiki picked it up. She goes, is this the sick blanket? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the one Eliana has. She goes, did you wash it? And I'm like, do you know how to wash? She's like, Mom, I don't want to touch it. I said, you're touching it right now. So we had this thing going back and forth. She's like, well, you're the Gigi. I said, well, you're the auntie. So go ahead and wash the blanket. But everyone was like, did she touch anything else? Are the other blankets, are they contaminated? That whole couch over there, did we spray it?
And of course, when I was finally able to get out of bed and come sit down on the couch, I was like, I need to see a change of scenery. I sat down, I'm like, oh, there's my blanket. So I grabbed my blanket. And then the girls come like, oh my God, he's got the sick blanket. What are you doing? And I was like, you know what? There's something else.
They were like, why are you down here? Because you're going to spread all your germs out here? I was like, gee, thanks, guys. So he should just spread his germs upstairs in the bedroom?
Even with a mask on. I had an N95 mask on. They didn't care.
They did. They cared.
I was not getting any love.
Well, no, that's not true. You did get love, but his twin, she really stayed away. She was like, where's Dad? I was like, really? So I just want to know how he's feeling. I said, go see how he's feeling. She's like, I'm not going in there.
I will say this, that if the world was ending and it was like our family was the last standing and it required you to have some kind of like self-preservation mode to make sure we're all taking care of each other, Kiki would be the last person standing because she would be all out for herself, making sure she's okay.
She's like, Mom, I'm the baby. So that's absolutely nothing.
Oh, so she's got to survive?
Yeah, she's the baby. So that means she's just automatically gets to be selfish. I was like, whatever. I said, your twin is down, though. You got to pick up the slack.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
It was crazy because Lovey usually is, his one chore at home is the garbage. And so while he was really sick, I was like, okay, girls, we need to get the garbage and take it out. And so it was the funniest thing. I wish I could have recorded it. Just their reactions to having to go outside and get the big garbage cans and take them down to the curb. So Keanu's like, well, I don't even know how I'm supposed to do this because it was dark on the side of the house. I was like, well, which one? We're taking the green waste. So, not green waste.
It was green
Okay,
waste.
green waste. We're taking that, and there's 2 green wastes, and so Shanti took the regular garbage out, and I was like, okay, you take one, I take one, and she's like, is it heavy? How am I supposed to move it? I said, good Lord, girl, get behind it and then move it out. And she was like, oh, Dad can never be sick on garbage day ever again because now my hands are dirty and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm just like,
See what happened? I've enabled these poor children. It's gone from when I really wanted them to be self-sufficient to I think we've spoiled the heck out of them. We've created these princesses that don't know how to do anything.
They know how to do it. They just don't want to get dirty.
It's so funny. Well, again,
Anyway.
crazy start to the new year. And I do want to highlight something that if you are ill in this time frame, it is extremely difficult to get the type of care that you're used to. And I want to remind everybody to have patience. Like, okay, crazy stands for compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding. And this is a perfect time for all of us not to just be crazy in our marriage, but to be crazy in the way that we approach all of our neighbors, our people that we deal with on a daily basis. It is a crazy time, and it requires a crazy response. And that crazy response is being more compassionate to those people that have shown up to go to work. There's a lot of people that have, no shame, no shade, no hate, nothing. But there are a lot of people that have left their jobs to work from home, whether it's a safer environment or they just feel like this is the right time to do it. There's a lot of first responders. There's a lot of essential workers that are at hospitals, that are in doctors' clinics, that are in the medical profession, that are in restaurants, that are in a variety of different areas that continue to show up for work, but they're understaffed. And so you're not able to get the level of service that you are normally accustomed to, and we get upset because it's like, this is horrible service, this, that, and the other. They're doing the best they absolutely can. They really are. And because you're not getting what you're accustomed to, there's no need for us to be upset with them. We need to show compassion in these moments. We need to understand that they're working underneath a lot of stress, and we need to have more patience. So the first letter in crazy is being compassionate and recognize the real. The real is that the reality of the state that we're in now, whether we chose it or not, is that COVID has changed a lot of things across the board. And you're thinking to yourself, well, it shouldn't affect this. It does. It affects supply chains, which doesn't allow us to get the stuff that we ordered, or the things are not available at the store. You're not able to get certain ingredients, so certain things are taken off menus. There's so many different aspects of this that it affects, and we need to be accountable, not just to each other, but to ourselves, to know that, what, I need to treat people the way that I want to be treated. There's accountability in that as well. The zealousness, the excitement, I don't know that you should have it or can have it in a time like this, but I will say that we should be excited to know that, we should celebrate the people that did show up and be excited that, someone is here trying to provide me a service. It may not be to the level that I want or that I was used to, that I used to get from this particular establishment, but you know what? I'm happy that somebody is showing up. And the yielding part is really going to be about that, I need to give in to the certain extent that I need to yield and know that they're doing the best they can. And I need to take a moment and just pause, take a deep breath, and not act like Snooks did when she was, God bless her, we couldn't go to dinner.
I was waiting on it. I promise I was waiting on it. Go ahead.
We couldn't go to dinner like we had reservations. So I don't think we said that. So because of our 25-year anniversary, which you're all very much aware of, this past weekend while we were sick, we actually had a spa resort at Wine and Roses, which is a very nice place here in the Central Valley. Will Smith has stayed there. It's a really nice spot. And I made reservations for us for 2 nights, And I mean, we're doing the damn thing, right? It had like the spa, the fireplace, the whole 9 yards in the room. And of course, we couldn't go anywhere or do anything because I was in bed sick or on the couch laid up, and we had like spa treatment scheduled, a romantic dinner. All this was taken care of. And unfortunately, Snooks was able to do her spa treatment on Saturday morning. I was not, which we'll probably get into. And then I had to cancel dinner. It was just a mess. So she ordered food to be picked up. And so she went to one of our favorite sushi places. Mm-hmm. And she she wanted to strangle the person on the other end of the phone. Mm-hmm. She was upset. And I was trying to calm her down.
I was okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, it's not the fact that I understand being short-staffed. I understand having to wait or whatever. What I don't understand is you don't get to get attitude with me when I'm calling your establishment. So what happened was, and this has happened before, where I called to place an order for pickup, and I'm told, oh, it's going to be an hour and a half for beforehand. And so I'm like, an hour and a half, okay. I asked Lovey, can you wait that long? Because I was getting him soup and whatever. He's like, yeah, I could wait that long. So when I told the lady, I was like, yeah, that's fine. I could. I said, okay. It's like she got upset that I said okay, and she had to take my order. So she puts me on hold, and okay, hold. Like, I mean, just really rude, whatever. So I'm holding, but then I'm looking at the on their website, and I'm like, well, they close in an hour, so it's not going to be an hour and a half wait. And I'm calling, and so when she got back on, I wanted to clarify, no attitude. I said, okay. I said, so you said an hour and a half. I said, but you guys close in an hour, so will it be ready in an hour, or are you guys going to be open like later? She's like, yeah, I guess. And what? And instantly, so don't give me attitude like that. And I was like,
I saw the daggers coming.
So I'm like, okay, so you guess it'll be ready in an hour, or you're going to be open later? Because I don't like ambiguity. We've kind of talked about that before. And so she was like, well, yeah, to be ready. Like, okay. So now she's just, very, very short, very attitude-y. I'm like, I'm sorry, sis, your job's customer service. So service your customer. I mean, you know what I mean? Especially when I did not have an attitude about that. I get it. So when I say, what I want, tell her that. I said, so I should be there at 8:30, or she said, you will get a text or phone call when your food is ready. Go into the stall number, not stall, but the driveway number 2, parking spot number 2. I said, okay. So hung up the phone. I was like, anyway, don't be having no attitude, whatever. So go on and do my stuff. And so I was like, I'm going to go to the store, which was right next door to the restaurant. I'm going to go to the store because I'm going to pick up some more NyQuil for Lovey. So I'm putting my shoes on to go. She calls. Yeah, this is the restaurant, blah, 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 whatever. Well, we wanted to know, were you still coming to get your food? I said, was I still coming to get my food? I said, my food is ready. She goes, yeah, it's been ready for 15 minutes. And I said, well, I never received a phone call. Well, you got a text. I said, no, I didn't. Because now I got attitude. Don't give me attitude when you didn't do your job. I said, no, I didn't. Well, it's ready. I said, yeah, I'm on my way right now. And then I hung up the phone, and I was like, oh, I said, because then I'm mad because now the food has been sitting there for 15 minutes. So I was like, so now soup's going to be cold, and the soup is more for Lovey. So I called back. I was like, so since my food has been sitting there for 15 minutes, I would like the soup rewarmed. You want to? Yes, I want it rewarmed because it's been sitting. No one called. And we didn't have a microwave in our room. She said, okay, I'll see what I can do. So I told Lovey, I was like, if they can't rewarm the food, what else do you want? Because I'm not picking that up. I was hot. You do not get to give me attitude because, like I said, you did not do your part. And then you're, well, we want to know if you, Do they want to know if you called? Did you send a text message? So that's what my attitude was. It wasn't so much that I had to wait or I had to whatever. Like I said, I'm going to always go back to that. Do not give me attitude when you didn't do what you were supposed to do. I'm not a fight starter. I don't start fights. And unfortunately, when I'm invited to a fight, a lot of times I will come.
She will show up.
I said sometimes I will come. Other time I'm like, ugh, I don't have.
No.
But what?
I was like, girl, I don't know. I don't know that you've ever turned down an invitation.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I've turned down plenty of invitations. Anyway, so that's what that was about. It wasn't because I had to wait. It wasn't because I was inconvenienced or anything like that. I get it. You don't have the service that but just do what you said you were going to do. Because I was like, well, did I miss something? Nope, no phone call, no text message. And I made sure to have my phone right with me at all times. So that's what that was for. Lovey trying to call me out on the podcast, and he didn't even have all the facts straight. You was in medicine head anyway.
It's a bad Lovey.
Bad Lovey is right.
I swear.
But anyway, I feel like, got our food, whatever, went to the store, came back. The main thing was that I was more concerned with him. And bless his heart, when you try to do something good for your spouse or your mate and it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to turn out, we improvise and we shift, and we make it work. And we had this beautiful room, and like he said, we pretty much sat on the couch. We watched football. But it was cool because
football watched me.
Yeah, football watched Lovey. I think we watched a movie too. But for me, it was cool just because we were just together. It was just us. It was quiet. The phone wasn't ringing. There wasn't.
It was quiet except for the neighbors.
Oh my God, we had cloggers upstairs. They weren't really cloggers, but man,
I don't know if they were having sex or moving furniture. I don't know what was going on.
They were so super loud. Oh my goodness. So I said to myself, next time, I'm telling Lovey, next time, specifically request an upstairs room. I don't care what kind of room it is. We're never going to be on the bottom level again, ever. I will walk the stairs.
Yeah.
They were so just loud. Just loud. And then, we had a balcony. Well, they had the balcony. We had the patio on two sides. And they had friends. They must have had, like, down the way a little bit, like another party was there.
There was a wedding event or something because there were a lot of friends that were connected.
Okay, but why are you outside on your balcony yelling it's 8 o'clock in the morning?
I know.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This is not the motel on the side of the road. This is a nice establishment. Conduct yourselves accordingly. So anyway, he was still good. We had fun. Like I said, we improvised. We didn't do everything that we wanted to do or that we had scheduled, but the fact that we were together and it was quiet, minus the cloggers upstairs, no phones ringing, no kids asking questions, and it was just us. And whether I was taking care of him or rubbing his head and watching him sleep or whatever, it was just us,
Yeah, it was interesting. I will say this, that even though it was a crazy start to the new year, I wouldn't have done it any different as far as us being together. It would have been a little bit more refreshing if I hadn't been sick, but it was really nice. It was really nice. And speaking of, we had a chance to talk and all that, and I'm going to throw out the question of the month because it stemmed. We thought of it while we were there, and actually it was not there. It was the week prior we had thought of it, and we talked about it a little bit. But the question was, for however long you've been married, whether it's been 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20, 30, 40, what is the greatest lesson that you've learned thus far in your marriage? And we'd love to hear your response. Let us know what that is. I guess we're taking emails, text, and responses as well as
voices.
As long as voices.
Yeah, we get a lot of emails.
So we're going to start including those. But because we have a bunch of responses already, but it's via social media and stuff. So, but you can go to marriedintocrazy.com. Again, that's marriedintocrazy.com. And if you want your voice to be heard on the podcast, you can leave your voice message on that page, on the monthly question tab. And you can just click the little button there, record your answer, and we will include you in the podcast. We would love to do that, as well as some of the things that are being written in.
Well, we'll just read those, obviously. So,
but we would love to include you, get you to be, to not just join our Iron Tribe, but to actually hear your voices heard on the podcast as well. So you're invited to that. And while you're on marriedintocrazy.com, feel free to go to the coaching tab and select a discovery call. So if you're having some challenges or you want to work through some things and you like to hear a nonpartisan third party work with you to assist you through that process, we're here for you. And we can do that discovery call to find out if we're a good fit. We want to thank all of our new clients, everyone that's come on board. Let me just say this. With us being sick, we have had to reschedule because I was in bed with a fever and it just happened during the periods, or I was at the ER in the case of yesterday. I want to thank our clients for being willing and understanding that we had to reshuffle some of the schedules. We truly appreciate that. That's been a blessing as well. So we have the best clients in the world, and we're super appreciative of all of you also. Mm-hmm. So I feel like my energy is like dropping dramatically. So I can't think of anything else that I want to go over.
No, me either. Just kind of want to reiterate, things may not always go the way that you want them to go. Sometimes we have special occasions planned. Sometimes you may have a talk planned, whatever it is. And it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to. But that doesn't mean that the relationship is over or it's just so messed up or whatever. Sometimes we have to, our best lessons are how do we improvise and how do we, I want to say come up with a plan B, but we make it happen by any means necessary in a good way. So don't ever think that because it doesn't look the way you wanted it to look, the picture's not as pretty or whatever. Continue to put the work in, doing the things that are important in your relationship. And, you always will, I'll say always, if you're doing the work, you'll reap the fruits of your labor.
Amen. Amen.
So with Lovey, this whole, him being sick on our anniversary, I will reap the fruits of my labor from taking care of him because we're doing a do-over.
We are doing a do-over. I'm taking my lady to Vegas.
No. We already planned Vegas, babe.
That's not it?
That's not it, no.
What if we what if we upgrade, do something special?
That's not it. I said no.
Dang. Okay, so I thought it was the do-over.
That's not the do-over if we already had it planned.
Wow. Okay.
Babe.
Team Snooks, Team Lovey.
If
we do it big in Vegas, is that a do-over? Or
if it's already planned to do it big in Vegas, is that a do-over?
I was planning on doing it small in Vegas.
No. No, I was included in the planning. We were doing it big in Vegas. So.
Oh, man. It just reminded me as well.
If we get to go to Vegas, we don't know.
Yeah, it's true that. Even if we get to go. Yeah. I will say this. You're talking about reaping the fruits of your
labor.
Mm-hmm. Public announcement. We have been booked to actually speak for Marriage Mastery Meetup 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be happening next month in February. So we will be speaking again. This time it will be virtual. So I'll be getting the information. I'm supposed to, actually I have the information. It came through while I was sick. So I have to kind of sift through the emails and start to get that out on social media. So we will be speaking again. We're excited that we got the call back to participate yet again in an amazing gathering of speakers. So you'll be hearing more about that. And I also found out that our store, so this gear you see us wearing, the hats, the hoodies, the shirts, the beanies, they will be available soon and very soon. And we'll be getting that out on the Married Into Crazy website as well as through our social media outlets. So keep an eye out, and you will be able to let everybody know exactly how married into crazy you are by sporting your gear. With that said, just bear with us because, again, this is a late entry into it, and there's a few wrinkles that have been put in place because we're behind on some timelines. But, hey, you know what? It's life. As long as we're living and we're on the mend, that's what our relationships are about, right? It's not always going to be perfect, but if you're willing to fix it, if you're willing to put in the work, it's always going to be worth it. Mm-hmm. Not just for our health, but for our marital health as well. So with that said, until the next time, be blessed.
Bye-bye.